So what's your first thought when you see him?
What was the
okay, remember he walking down the street. His pants is way down, you know, I'm looking at his underwear. His language is all about telling me, you know, what he's doing. So he's already told me what he's doing, and he's using all the lovely graphic language that he can. He's not telling me that. He just walking down the street talking about, you know, pumping his own self up. And you standing there and you see and hear him walk by. What's your first thought to him? First thought of him, and what you gonna do? What will you do? You just let him walk by and say he's somebody else's problem, or what do you do?
My first thought and my honest opinion is just, when I see another young brother or sister walking down the street like that, I see a reflection of myself, my old self. So I will pull that brother to the side and, you know, just start a conversation with him, seeing how his day going, where he going. Just, you know, explore his thoughts, his mind, to see how he's thinking and how he's feeling. And from that feedback I get from that brother, that's when I come with my next conversation. But my first thing is not gonna be his financial situation. It's not going. I'm gonna see where his mind at.
Right.
I'm gonna see where his heart at. I'm gonna see where his spirit at. And then from there, I take it, you know, to ask him. You know, somebody give the brother a book to read, or tell him come down to what the brother say to the village, come to the conflict resolution class or something like that, or, you know, just build like a mentorship or some type of communication. Because most people these days, they just really want someone to talk to.
So will you let him know, been there, done that already?
Yeah, I will let him know, like, I can put my feet in your shoes, because I've been there, I walked there, and it's gonna be all right. Because most of and when you really look at what's going on in the world, it's really just, you can tell the society, the world is suffering from mental disorders.
So, Esteban?
Me personally, I'm just talk to him. I'm gonna vibe with him, see what he got going on in his mind, see how he doing, or what led him down this path. I'm not mad. I'm not gonna be able to judge him, because who am I to judge? But I'm gonna be like, all right, well, brother, you doing this, I did that. I'm gonna hook you up with some people. Let's see what they can do for you. Like, once again, we'll tell you 324 Avenue D, the Village United, every Thursday 7 p.m. Come out, see what we talking about. See if this doesn't change your mind, or if you get around some people, because it's not, you know, what you do, it's how you do it, and it's not what you know, it's who you know. What if you only know drug dealers, killers, and murderers and all that other stuff? What if he actually knew some people that were influential, some people that actually cared about him, saying, brother, while you out here hustling, what? Because I ain't got no money, so you must need a job. You must need some type of entrepreneurship. You're a hustler, cool. That means you could be a businessman.
Right.
That means you can do something with yourself. You ain't out here, you just, you lost, brother. There's nothing wrong with being lost, but till you're found. When we give each other opportunity to talk and actually listen and actually take a genuine interest in each other, then we can progress.
I say, cool. All right. Now we got one more person to talk to, because he's the one who, like, dang, she running out of time. She can't talk to me. Let me see. I got time. Oh yes, I got time. How you doing? We got time. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm having fun. I have fun in life. If I can't have fun, then it's not worth living.
That's good.
So I'm here to have fun. So you been behind those people called the bars? Been behind bars?
So my story is a little bit different from the other three brothers who've already shared. I'm from a little town called Earl, Arkansas, right outside of Memphis. So my story is kind of on the other side. A brother Esteban, a brother Larry, these are the type of men that raised me, older cousins and uncles.
Okay.
But me, myself, I had the opportunity to go to a really good school in Memphis. Drove an hour every day there and back to go.
Wow.
Stayed in church, played drums, etc. And so when I was 18, I actually, you know, had going to a predominantly white school, but living in the hood, you realize quickly you have access to something that they want.
Right.
So I definitely, I ended up being caught, and I caught a small case, and because...
okay, wait, back up. Explain what you meant by that. Because you teaching right now. Right. So a small case is what?
So basically, you know, when you go to predominantly white schools, everybody smokes weed. That's just the reality.
Okay.
And it's not a big deal. It's like, oh, what are you doing today? Hey, man, we're going to go smoke a bowl. Like, that's the other side of me,
right.
You know? So when I go home, it'd be like, man, like, it's a big deal to them. They paying so much money, but in the hood, it's not even this expensive. So, you know, I just became like a little schoolboy weed dealer, you know, nothing too serious. And then one day, basically, I was snitched on. I got caught with weed on school grounds. And that started a pretty serious case for me at a very young age. And, you know, it was just a letdown for my family, for me, because I'm looked as the one who's going to college, doing positive things. And so it's like, you know, what's going on? So and one thing that you guys really need to listen to, if you're going to be, and we hope that you don't, you need to have your bail money put up, because a lot of brothers and sisters end up doing a lot of time in jail because they can't afford to make $50,000 bail. So that probably 10%, that's $5,000. I was blessed to have an entire community rally behind me. I bailed out within a week. I was able to have a $5,000 paid attorney, and I ended up having deferred adjudication, which for those of you who know, that's pretty much a judge saying, look, it's your, you know, in Arkansas, it's called a first-time offender status. Basically, we see potential in you. If you stay out of trouble for a couple years, we'll drop the case. And that's what ended up happening. I ended up going, I'm not going to say the college name, I ended up going to college. I pledged a fraternity. Thus, I've ended up graduating. Now I have a pretty good job in Austin. And one thing, and why it's so important, is we have to become bridge builders and realize that we're all in this together. You know, just because you go out and you get a college education, you get a good job, you have access to certain things in society, you're still connected to your cousin, to that uncle who you left behind in a place like Killeen, in a place like 3rd Ward, Texas, in a place like North Little Rock. We have to, because when your kid is out and they're being kids and you have worked really hard, you got them in this great neighborhood, and now they have all these diverse friends, and they're going to want to be like everybody else. The system is not going to treat your child how they treat other children. And so we need to be prepared for that and just do the right thing. And your question earlier about what do you do about the young man who's, first of all, for the brothers who really have made some money on that side of the game, if you out here promoting yourself like that, you're really a follower and you're really not on.
Come on.
So what you really need to realize is that that's the first mistake. And you're going to get picked on. You might say picked on. When you out here carrying yourself like that, you putting all your business on Front Street, the older guys who really know what's going on, they're going to use you as a send out. And then you're going to be the ones that reap very little rewards and pay all the consequences.
Wow. Okay. So what you gonna? So to young men, you're gonna tell them get the bail money ready.
Hopefully you're not in a situation. You need to look. As a man, as an adult, man or woman, you need to have savings. And I'm sure you do a lot about financial literacy, etc. So when any emergency happens, you can be prepared. There is something called legal insurance that a lot of people have. So whether it's you're involved in a car accident, you're arrested, whatever the case or situation may be, you know, there's actually insurance you can pay monthly, small premiums, $10, $15 a month, where you already have bail on deck, you have a lawyer ready on retainer. So it's not just about necessarily having bail money, but just being prepared in any case of emergency, be it medical, loss of wages, etc. And once again, on top of all of that, brothers and sisters, look deep into yourself. We all have a purpose, and that purpose is positive. It's noble. At some point in your life, you've thought about doing something noble, or now you're thinking about doing something noble. Whatever it is that Allah God has put inside of you, look into that thing and invest in that.
I like that. Pretty cool. Now we have this other person.
And that's Brother Jesse.
Yeah, his name is Brother Jesse. I like what you said. That was very good. And I hope everybody's ready for what you said. And if not, they're not ready for what you said. They lost the boat. But that was powerful. I like that. And you're right about the diversity. And kids need to know that. And parents need to remember that. So when they send their kids to this quote-unquote good school, they need to realize what's the reality of some of them going to that school.
Is, when you are one of the few African Americans or blacks at really good institutions, and that's great. Work hard to do the best whatever you're doing. When you get in trouble, you're going to jail. When they get in trouble, they're calling in counselors.
And that's so very true. That is very true. Okay, now our last person we're going to talk to, I've been talking about him. I've been teasing him, and he knows all in love because he's a Marine person, and I say where everybody else eats a sandwich, they would, because the Marines think they're the toughest men alive. I don't know why y'all think that, but so good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing. Hey, I'm having fun. I'm having some fun.
All right.
So now your name is?
My name is Chris.
And Chris, so you've never been in trouble in your whole life?
I have, but I never went to jail.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay. Woo.
It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. Huh? Crazy.
They never caught him.
So you just skated on by?
No, ma'am. I had a turning point in my life where I had to make a decision.
Oh, okay. And what decision did you make?
Well, when I was younger, I seen a lot of my friends, they did dope, they sold drugs, and I looked at it immediately knew that was not the choice that I wanted to make for my life because I seen the repercussions of that action.
Okay. I like that. That's rare. I mean, because some people see the cool part and they don't see the other part and they go, I'm going to do that. And I'll say, such as myself when I was younger, I grew up in the weed era. The weed era. Where you go to a concert and they passing them all around all during the concert. The concert on the grass. So I grew up in that area.
You say the Reagan area.
See, it wasn't even the Reagan area yet. Okay, it was before then. With the Flower Child.
Just a couple of summers ago, Miss Phyllis.
Okay, when we have flower children. Joe knows what flower children is. You all might not know what that means, but it's okay. It's quite all right. But when I grew up, and drinking was then. But the reason I didn't drink because I watched my friends drink, and I thought the worst thing ever could happen to you was for someone else to tell you what you were doing the night before. I thought that was a tragedy in life. I thought that was the scariest moment ever. And I wanted to know, how could people live knowing that someone else had to tell you what you had did the night before? I think people who do that are crazy because, like I said, that scared me half to death. So that convinced me right then and there, drinking is not going to be your friend. Weed is not going to be your friend because no one is going to tell me what I did the night before. And I think, like I said, I think that's the worst feeling in life because you were out of control and you didn't know. So finding out what you didn't want to do and don't do it was great. That you knew at that point, because how many people said that they knew that they shouldn't do it and actually did it? Not many. So your story is important to be told so that kid doesn't feel like, as Esteban said, the nerd. He doesn't feel like the nerd because he decided to go right. What did you suffer from that, though, when you didn't do those things?
A lot of kids used to call me a square. They used to call me a nerd. They said, hey, you're trying to be like him. You couldn't do it. I had a lot of my best friends say you couldn't join the Marine Corps. You couldn't be a Marine.
Because you didn't do? Because
they figured I didn't have the mental fortitude to go through the rigorous transformation to become a United States Marine.
So did that make you really want to be a Marine at that point?
Yes, it did.
So are you still in the Marines?
No, ma'am. I'm a veteran now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome to being on the other side.
Thank you for your service.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you, guys.
Even though you ate wood and not sandwiches?
Yeah. It felt like that some nights.
And the only reason I said that is, like I said before, Marines thought they were they think they're the strongest, the best, the toughest. They go in last to clean up because everybody couldn't.
We get the scraps.
I wasn't going to say that, but it's okay. But the same question for you. You see a young man, you see the same young man walking down the street, and like I said, we're looking at his underwear, and yes, not good. But anyway, he's talking about what he's doing. He's bragging, and he's bragging to anybody who's listening. This is what he's doing. So what would you say to him? Because you've never been in his shoes. So what would you say?
I could tell him that I said, you're on the path of destruction. A lot of these kids this day are spiritually and mentally misguided through social media and TV. And they think that it's cool. They see Scarface doing it. They see Young Thug doing it, and they think it's okay. But they're just making a sale. They're trying to sell something.
Right.
They're selling them a facade. They're selling them a dream, but it really has no significant meaning on the outside world. Because when you look at this gentleman, you're like, well, I know he's not at the right place. We need somebody to mentor him. And that's the problem today. A lot of these parents want the TV to raise the kids instead of themselves taking the time and appropriate action to raise these kids.
That's true. You're right about that. You're right. Okay, you gave me another question to ask everybody. So we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Parents are now becoming their child's friend. They are. They want to be the friend now. They're not the parent. They're the friend. What's the dangers of these parents who think they need to be their child's friend? What's the dangerous path they can lead their child to while trying to be the friend?
Well, that goes to being a pack leader. because dogs, they will form off packs. If you are the alpha, you cannot have a friendship with your son, because then when he gets to a position of authority, he gets to a higher level of his age, he's going to challenge you. And then you're going to be like, well, you were just smoking weed with me, so how are you going to tell me not to do something when you were doing it with me? Now it's a conflict of interest, and that's why you have destruction in the household, because there is no God. Basically, good order and discipline. Without that, your whole foundation of a family will fall.
That's true, and that's powerful.
It's like you're building a family on a deck of cards.
Say that again. You said it's no God. Say that again.
There's no good order and discipline.
And that's no God.
That's God.
I like that.
There you go. I like that.
So in order to become duplicatable, you first must become one with God.
Okay. I hope everybody, mothers, did y'all hear that? And fathers too, because you got fathers that's trying to be their child's friend and not the father, and they forgetting. Okay, I need Jesse, right? Yes. Okay, what's your opinion of that? Of parents, becoming the friend instead of the parent nowadays, and you see that a lot.
Right. Well, part of being a parent is being a disciplinarian and being a friend. You want your children to be able to talk to you about things that are going on in their life, but at the same time, you want to set that example. You want to set that example of discipline to where you've seen it all already. I think in the Bible it talks about pairing the young oxen with the older oxen. What's the purpose of that? That's because you've already seen it. So when that emergency, when that crisis happens, when that possibly life-changing predicament happens in your child's life, they need to have trust in you and look at you as a leader. So when you've been their friend, like the brother said, you've been doing these things with them to try to, I just want them to trust me and to be my friend. But when that thing happens and they feel very strongly about it, your voice isn't going to matter when it's supposed to matter.
Good.
We
need
your voice to matter when it's supposed to, when it comes to those hard decisions, when it comes to, okay, I don't care if you like me or don't like me right now. No, it's not happening. Because you have, 18, 20, 30 years of experience on your child, presumably. And so, you know where this path is going to lead, but they don't know. They're being fueled by emotions, whereas you're being fueled by lived experience and logic. And so in those critical moments, not just with child rearing in general, as far as constantly instilling discipline, etc., honesty, etc., when those critical moments happen in a young person's life, your voice has to dictate which way they're going to go.
That's true. I like that.
This is a true story. I was walking my dog through the neighborhood, and I seen some kids playing basketball. I talked to this gentleman before, and as he went to his car, I looked in the car, and he had an AR-15 in his car. I asked him, what were you doing with that gun? He says, well, I can't pay my bills. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm contemplating on robbing somebody. And I said, you know what? I have a conflict resolution class that we do. And I also have a meeting that we're doing Sunday to promote the Nation of Islam. We have a guest speaker coming. Would you mind attending? And I said, this will be way worth it than you taking that gun and robbing somebody. And I told his brother, I said, hey, you need to get that gun and you need to put it up.
Right. And
you need to come with me. And he came with me.
Oh, good. That's good. That's good.
Was that the brother? That's good.
Yes.
And that needs to happen more.
Yes. Because had I not cared enough to go see what was in that car,
right,
God, Lord knows what he could have done.
That's true. And I like that.
I figured I saved his life that day.
But you also did what a real stand-up man is supposed to do. And in today's world, we're losing real stand-up men. They're becoming real stand-up women. They're becoming real stand-up nothing. Or they've misplaced and displaced themselves in everybody's life, so they just become one of. So I like that, because you let everybody know that not only are you a male by birth, but you're a stand-up man, and you stand up and do what needs to be done in our neighborhood and our community. If more men did what you did, we wouldn't have some of the issues that we have now. They would be gone and they wouldn't exist. So I'm glad you did what you did, but I want to see more of you. We need to see more of you, because I'll tell you this, we women, we have this no fear thing going on. Such as if I see a young man sagging, You might not walk up to him, but I am, because I don't care. You know, I don't care. He gonna pull him up. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that because I said so. You know, so women have that. You know, we don't know the fear thing that you all have. We don't know you all say, I don't know what he got. I don't know this. Well, we don't even think about that. We don't think about that. But men have a habit of, I don't know what he got. I don't want to get into it with him and all this. Well, a real man like you wouldn't mind talking to him. But I say some other man I ain't gonna even bother with it. So women have to step it up and do it.
And another thing I want to get on, that nowadays the millennials, they walk around thinking everybody owes them something.
Right.
You owe me this. I've been raped. You owe me this. In actuality, when you get down to the nitty gritty, I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you an explanation. I don't owe you anything.
Okay, next person.
For the actual father.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. All right. Are you a friend or father?
Father.
Okay.
But I agree to a certain degree with the brother Jesse said. To a certain degree, you want to have some type of friendship because you want your child to come be able to speak to you about anything. But I feel like in today's time, parents became too friendly. And according to, like I do a lot of studying, and I was studying one of my brother's lectures, and he said that as parents, we'll fail when we don't take our children beyond us. We don't want them to be equal to us or beneath us.
Right.
When that happens, that means we fail as parents. So you got to look at the generation of time. If you look at the mothers and fathers of today, most of them young. So they had them when it was 14, 15, while they were still kids. So they had to take on the responsibility that was too much for them at a young age. So they carry on that friendship with their child, and they not knowing how to properly raise that child. And then you got to look at how it could be a danger to where you treating your child like a friend. Because when you look at the friendships today, they call each other dogs, B's and H's. You just look, it's not really no real friendship. So then they take that same friendship with their child. So like the brother say, it loses respect. They're gonna challenge your authority, and the house gonna come crumbling down. So so my words to the mothers and fathers today, regardless if you young or old, you be a parent first. And have a strict discipline, and sit there and educate and teach and do things with your child. Don't let Instagram, don't let a tablet, don't let the movies, don't let none of these things that you see on TV or social media or coming through the airways educate your child. You educate your child because you creating the thoughts in the mind, you shaping the minds and the thoughts of that child. That's what I believe.
Esteban?
I'm gonna let Brother Dave on because he has a child.
Because he has a daughter. Yes. He go, wait a minute, hold on, what? Parents being their child's friend and not the parent.
I mean, I gotta go with what my brother Larry said. You know,
Because you are a parent.
I tend to think I'm the most best parent in the whole wide world. No disrespect to you, good brother. You know what I'm saying? But I thrive on being my daughter's best friend. And that may sound crazy, but I thrive on that because I want my daughter. What you tell you got a best friend, Miss Phyllis, besides me?
Yes.
Okay, you tell your best friend everything, don't you?
No.
Why not?
I was raised that way.
Okay, well,
I was raised that way.
Well, I come from best friends you gonna tell your boys everything, right? I'm telling my best friend, when I go to my best friend, I'm telling my best friends everything. So I try to instill that best friend at a young age that, hey, you my best friend. You my best friend. You my favorite girl in the whole wide world is what I tell her.
Right.
That's because I want her to understand that you are my best friend. That means you could tell me anything, because I don't want you to hold back nothing from me. So on the plus side, trying to be a friend, trying to be your child's friend, can help, but it's a downside to it. It's a dominant effect to it when they become of age. And you know what I'm saying, having kids at 14, 15 years old, then when your kid becomes 15 years old, you're only 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you want to go to the same club that your kid want to go to. You know what I'm saying? Or you are in the same club that your kid is in. You know, when it comes to men, you know what I'm saying? Me and here I am, if I'm 30 years old and got a 15-year-old little boy, he may like the same woman that's in my house, you know what I'm saying? So he may try that woman, you know, or he may like to smoke just like I like to smoke, you know, so I'm just using an example, you know, so he may like to smoke just like I say, and that's where the friendship come in, the parents get to smoking, you know what I'm saying? And we can't be friends like that, you know what I'm saying? We can't hang out in the same clique, you know what I'm saying? But we can be best friends with each other, you know what I'm saying? We can love each other. And so that's why I got going with my baby girl, you know.
Okay.
You see that Joe looking at me like, yeah, I understand, man. Yeah,
okay, so I don't think you got out of this one.
Me personally, it needs to be boundaries, then it needs to be balance. I would give it a 80-20.
You got about 100 step kids.
Oh, well, I got 1,000 of them things. Well, you can just drop your kids off as long as it's a boy child. And he has to be over 5 because I don't change no diapers. It's not going to happen. Your child will just be taking a shower in a big shirt and some socks. That's it. You drop off some oodles and noodles. It's not a game. But I think it needs to be balanced. It needs to be know that there are limits, there's boundaries. You're not going to cuss at me. You're not going to talk to me any type of way. You're not going to act a certain type of way. You need to know when I say something, it is not written in sand. It's written in concrete. It's etched. It's etched in concrete. It might as well be on a pyramid wall. It ain't going to change. I have not changed my mind. When I see my little brothers and sisters, like today, I got to see Brother Larry's son today. He gave me a hug. I don't know that little boy from Adam or Steve or Adam or Eve, but I love that little dude. He said, hey, I said, hey man, stop. And his dad didn't stop me or tell me no, because when we know we have a certain moral code and guidelines, you talking to my son or my daughter, we're talking vice versa, there shouldn't be no difference between what I believe, what he believes. And that's not based on religion or ideology. That's just a basic moral code. When we have certain understandings as men and women, it's not a color or a race thing or nothing like that. It's a certain moral guidelines that we need to be governing ourselves. It's not about, oh, that's my son, can't nobody say anything to my son. No, your son is wrong. And if you think your son is wrong, that means you're wrong. I mean, if your son thinks it's right, oh, he's okay, he's a child, boys gonna be boys. No, we need to hold everyone accountable. I don't care your age, nothing. It needs to be held accountable. If you push my daughter down the slide and she falls, there's going to be consequences and repercussions.
Okay. All right. We've had a great conversation, and needless, I don't know if you all realize that we passed the hour real quick.
Before we go, can I say something?
You sure can.
First and foremost, I want to thank Miss Phyllis Jones for the opportunity for the brothers of the village to come down here and engage in such dialogue with you. Second thing is, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look. Hey, check this out. Central Texas. This radio station,
right.
Central Texas, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Central Texas. Okay. Hey, it's 2018. We working to do things a totally different way. So this topic was how to stay out of jail, right?
Yes.
All right. So for the last hour we've been dibbling and dabbling on this topic of how to stay out of jail. But I got the recipe for you, for real. Check this out. You can come down to the Village United, you know what I'm saying? You can listen to what Brother Tavares Muhammad got to say, you know what I'm saying? They go under his guidance and leadership, you know what I'm saying? As all of us brothers is right here up under his guidance and leadership. Shout out to Brother Tavares Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? So check this out. If you go into jail, you got to commit a crime. I'm going to say it real quick. You got to commit a crime to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Tavares told me one day, I hope he watching, he told me one day I want to go do something, you know what I'm saying? And he say, no, don't do that. I gave him a reason why I should go do it. You know what he told me? Well, go do it. You know what I'm saying? And when what happens to you, I told you, you know what I'm saying, what was going to happen. I thank God what happened to me didn't happen to me, what he said was going to happen to me, you know. But hey, listen to me. You got to figure out the consequences for your own. You got brothers out here that love you. We ain't got the money to make a video like Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying, to put it on TV to show you that we advocate and love you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got those type of funds, you know what I'm saying? But we got Miss Phyllis Jones with the Kiss 103 connection, you know what I'm saying? And we got Brother Tavares, we got the Village United. We got those things to help you come out of that negative mindset of, oh, you got to do this or you got to do that to survive. No, only thing you got to do is put God first in your endeavors and apply yourself, and you will make it. You know what I'm saying? Jail is just like a help me out, brother. A breeding ground. You know what I'm saying? It's a breeding ground for good and bad. You know. So listen to me. Go be productive. Do something with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And once again, we thank Miss Phyllis Jones for this opportunity.
Of course. And I thank you all for agreeing to come. Because like I said, a couple of weeks ago, we talked to a old OG who was probably one of the real people who got to have that name. And talking to him was great, but we need to talk to some young men, because young men listen to other young men. And we want mothers to listen to the young men. And we want fathers to listen to what you have to say, because the way we did it when I say my kids, we didn't do the friend thing. Now we didn't do it. We didn't call it friendship. We just call it relaxing with your child, so where they do and my daughters even now will, they're grown and I thought I was older than them, but they'll come and say, let's go shopping. And they'll, we laugh and play as we're shopping. So we don't call it friendship. We just still call it hanging out with our kids. But terms have changed, times have changed.
Hogan fact.
And sometimes you all say you all say the friendship part, but we need to talk about that because all that does tie into where your child ends up at. Because sometimes being their friend, you'll be their friend and they're in jail and you're not in jail, so therefore that friendship that you had them in, they're trying to figure out now how it broke because how they end up going to jail and you still mom at home chilling and you were their friend. But I want to thank everyone for listening to the show this morning. I know you got a lot out of it. And if you did not get a lot out of it, I don't know why not. But I want to thank everyone once again for listening to KISS Community Connections. I want to thank everybody for listening to the brothers here who spoke. And, and then they know now I know if I say, how's the fruit?
Fine, man. Try before we get up out of here, Miss Phil.
I said, how's the fruit?
Nah, you gotta say it with some conviction.
Okay, say how's the fruit?
Hold on.
Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all not ready?
No, we ain't ready.
I see a no. We only got like a minute.
Ready. We always ready.
So I gotta say, how's the fruit? You ready?
We ready when you are.
Okay, how's the fruit?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay, I heard you. I think everybody else heard y'all too. How's the fruit?
Fine, ma'am.
I think everybody heard y'all. I think the police. Joe, please be down here in a minute because I heard somebody yelling. We'll be all right. But before we go, I want everybody to always remember you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.
Peace.